important meeting. I am doing something a little different. Where's my phone? Today, I'm on the iPad Mini 6. I figured I'd give it a try. I don't need a gimbal. However, it doesn't stand up the right way, and, I don't have a tripod on it or anything like that. It's on a box. And it's got the case that stands up, so it's at an angle, so I have to put something under the case to lift it up and make it fairly, you can see, if I go like this, it will go back a little ways, but let's see here. You have given up trying, what, getting your girl back to the U.S., or getting into the stream, or what have you given up trying? Curious to know. Right now, the temperature is 91 degrees Fahrenheit, high of 96, low of 82. The temperatures are dropping this week, fortunately. Not going to be quite so hot until next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday. Then they should start to go up again. Right now it feels like 102. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, it feels like 102 with the humidity, and that's normal. Humidity is 72%, the dew point is 80%. So that's the weather, but it is a bit cooler because it's a little rainy. So that's good. The air quality is 108, which is not good. And the U.S. dollar is 36.93 to the Thai baht, which is okay. I'd like to see it over 37. I don't want to be greedy, but 37.2 to 37.5 is good for me. Anyway, so that's what's going on here. Today we're going to talk about getting your girl back to the U.S. And it is possible. How do I know this? Because I got my girl back to the U.S. And I think the thing to really talk about is that she needs to be able to get herself over there. It shouldn't just be you. I mean, you can sponsor her, you can do it that way. But that, first of all, that puts you at risk, and second of all, it's costly. It's not costly if she stays there and she acts right and she comes back or whatever. But it's costly if she just decides that she's going to pick up and leave and go somewhere else, because you're on the hook. So really, if she can't get herself back by herself, you might want to think about what's going on and how you can do things. I think the main thing is, if you're married and have children and everybody lives here, and then you're going to try to get her over on your dime, that's a little easier, a little better. That doesn't guarantee it. So, I'm curious to know, we don't have many people out there today. So I'm just going to sit here and wait until some people come in. And then we can start talking about this. And then if there's any questions, Hopefully I can answer them for you. That would be great. Yeah. Because I don't want to talk about this, and there's nobody here and nobody wants to listen, then why do I want to talk about it? You know, the streams are up and down sometimes. I mean, you know, I have 50 people, 60 people, then I have 30 people, then I have, 8 people. I got 6 people. We need more than that to carry on the conversation, and nobody is speaking. I mean, Steve, if you're out there, please comment. Leave a comment, say something. I don't know what you mean about trying to get your wife should be able to get back, no problem, to the U.S. She should be able to get over there quite easily. And I got to tell you that when my wife tried to get over to the U.S., when she tried to get her visa, I said, well, let me help you as much as I can. And I helped her fill out the papers and get everything correct. So I helped her fill everything out. And then she just sent it in. And she said, I want to go over there with my husband and my kids and to go see Grandma and Grandpa. And, the intention was to come back. And she did that. They made an appointment for her. She went in, and in 10 minutes, she was done. And I was like, wow, that's it? I thought, oh no, it's not good. And in 2 days, she had her visa. 10 years, she still has it. So it can be very easy. And there's, like I said, there's stipulations, but we'll talk about that when some people come in here. People start talking. Good morning, Jim. Good morning. Georgetown. Very nice. Yeah, I've been there before. I've been through there several times. I like Malaysia, but I don't like it as much as Thailand. To put it bluntly. Although Thailand is sort of changing towards what Malaysia is already. And that is full of Chinese, full of Indians. That's Malaysia for you. Hat guy. You're heading to Hat Yai today. I can't do anything about it. Because I'm on the iPad today, the iPad mini 6, and I don't have the connection to hook up the microphone, so I'm just using the onboard mic, which I have no idea how strong it is or whatever, but I don't have a gimbal, I don't have anything, it's just the iPad. And, I got a case on it, and the case sets it up, but the angle is not right, so I had to put a pen underneath the little stand that the case makes. Catch train in Hat Yai, overnight to Bangkok, minivan to China. what's the purpose of all this travel? Just to see stuff? That's the main reason. Let's see, what was yesterday? Yesterday was a Wednesday. Yes. And I went to go see Carnivore Chronicles, which right now he's probably hanging out with his girl or something. I don't know. His girl from home. So who knows if I'll see him again? We don't know. But it was nice to catch up with him. It always is. You know, there's some guys that you meet and you go, oh, it's a competition between us. There's no competition between me and Jono, me and Carnivore, me and Billy. There's you know, the people that I make friends with. There's no competition. We're just we're two guys or a couple of guys hanging out. It's good. It's nice. Jesus Christ. Dude, I like to take time when I go places and just mellow out. That's the whole thing. I like to be mellow, man. I want to go somewhere. I want to be mellow. I don't want to go to all these festivals. I've already been to all these festivals. You know, more power to you. You go and you have fun, you know, do your thing. But like, for me, I just don't have that. I don't have that energy anymore. I don't have that desire to go. I'm gonna go, you know, see the floats or whatever it is for the 15th time. You know. In Surat, I was looking at some video footage I had. I went to some festival. I'm like, I went there a couple of times. I was like, it's very nice. I can eat food there, and I can see all the floats. You know, it is nice, but after a while, like, you know, this is what we were talking about yesterday. After a while, it just becomes blasé. It's the only way I know how to put it. Off your bucket list. Yeah, I have a few things on my bucket list, and some of them I don't know if I will check off, and some of them I will check off for sure. Yeah, I've been wanting to do something for a long time, and I think I will do it, but I'm just not sure. Maybe 2 years. And that is to go where the sharks breach in South Africa. You go for like a 2-week, you go out on a boat for 2 weeks. You're out at sea for 2 weeks. And basically every day all you do is fish for great whites. So you're not really fishing for them, you're setting traps for them, and then hopefully they will breach the surface, go above the water, and you can photograph them or whatever. So hopefully I'll get to do that. That's something. The other is the Masai Mara. Wanted to do that for a long time. And, you know, I see these videos and you know, like they've got these tours where people go to the Masai Mara, and there's, you know, there's like 50 crocodiles sitting around this little area, and all the zebra and wildebeest go run through there, and the crocs try to get them. And the girls that are in the truck are like crying. Oh, I can't believe it! It got the baby! Oh my God! Oh, how can they do this? Oh my God! It's nature, honey. Get over it. Crazy. Anyway. Oh, well, that's not that bad, actually. 14 to 16. But, you know, I understand you're gone for 2 weeks. Afterwards, you kind of need some time off to decompress. You know, I need time to decompress sometimes, and I don't even go anywhere. Then I go somewhere, and I'm like, all right, I'm done for the next couple of days. It's really funny. I don't understand. I get all these people in the stream, and then for some reason, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the topic. Then I get very few. I get none. Yeah, you already put that. Oh, it showed up twice. That's really weird. Well, my life, you know, all I want to do is sit at the mall banquet. Not really. All step by step. The drone is fixed. I took it for a little flight yesterday. Right now I'm using the iPad Mini 6 instead of my phone, which I think could be advantageous to me. Especially if I'm out and about traveling, you know, you can do all kinds of things with it, but yeah, I don't know yet. I haven't figured out how I can use it, but I have the drone, I have the iPad Mini 6, and then I'm looking at this. I saw yesterday the Insta360, so I want to compare that against the GoPro 12 and see which one is better. You know, I like the GoPros. They do a lot, but there is other equipment that can be used to replace it or to, you know, just to use. It doesn't have to be a good. So I want to take a look at some of these things. In the meantime, I think this is, I have a college friend from Cambodia. It's SIDMREAP. You know, I've been to Cambodia so many times, and also Myanmar. And there's something about Myanmar and something about Cambodia that even though I'm like, all right, I've been there, you know, dozens and dozens of times. You know, there are certain places that I would like to go. There's a lot of things to do in Myanmar and also in Cambodia and also in Laos, but Laos doesn't really do it for me the way that Myanmar and you know, neither does Vietnam, to be honest. Vietnam, for some reason, I think it's Cyrus, the guy Cyrus, who comes into the stream sometimes. He's leaving, I think he's leaving today, or maybe it was yesterday, and going to Vietnam. He'd never been there. I said, well, enjoy it while you're there. But the thing is once you've been to Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh a couple of times, you know, most people, I think, are going to be like, listen, I want to go somewhere else. I got to get out of here. You know, go to Talat, go to Nha Trang, go somewhere else. Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to feel comfortable in Laos. I mean, nobody gives you a hard time. It's kind of hard not to feel comfortable. It's like Thailand, you know, really. It doesn't have the infrastructure, and that's the thing. And you know that is important. You know, every time I go to a place, if I go down somewhere, I don't want to have to take a 20-hour journey because I've got to sit and wait for 3 hours, and then I've got to sit on a bus for 4 or 5 hours, and then it's like, okay, well now I can go to the airport. I don't want to have to do it. And that's the one thing I like about Surat is I can go to the airport and I can take a bus, minivan, whatever it is, and within, say, an hour to 3 hours, there's a lot of things in that vicinity that I can do. So I'm going to check some things out pretty soon, but for now I'm stuck here. Yesterday was Alex's birthday, 23rd birthday. I cannot believe he's 23 years old. Incredible. Nicholas is 21. We've been married 25. So, there you go. I'm not into KL that much. KL doesn't... I don't get thrilled real easy with places. You know? Well, I don't see that many people in here, or that many people talking. I may just cut the fucking stream short. Because, you know, I wasn't going to stream, I was going to stream tomorrow, but I want tomorrow off. I want to not have to do anything tomorrow, and I figured I'll just stream today. But if there's nobody interested in the subject, then why do I want to stream? You know, this is the thing. I could use some ideas from people. If there's anybody out there that wants to send me messages, put it in the community. Just go to the community tab and you can write in there. If you have ideas for things to do, then by all means, send them to me. But, you know, I hear people all the time, and I read. People are like, oh, how do I get my girl over? I don't know if I can. What? And they have no idea. They're clueless. This is the thing. They're clueless. And I can say, and I've been saying this for a long time, there's a difference between somebody who is an influencer who comes online and they just talk a bunch of smack about, oh, you know, now I'm here and I'm doing this, and you know, my apartment is only $300. Oh, God, I now live in Thailand. And then they're gone in 2 months. There's a difference between somebody like that and somebody who actually knows the country. And, you know, I dare say I know a little bit about Thailand. I'm not one of these guys who comes here who knows just enough to get themselves in trouble. You know. And it's not that I'm any better, any smarter, anything like that. It's just I put the time in and been here. And I've been in many situations. So you start to learn things. That's the difference. Maybe you couldn't call me an influencer. I don't know. I don't know if I'm an influencer or not. I don't know what I influence. But I do think that there's some good information out there. And I've seen some guys recently who, you know, they think it's such a big deal to get an apartment here. Okay, you got the money, that's all it takes. You want to, you know, you want to do something else, well, let's see about it. We have to, you know, take a look at it. You want to get your girlfriend that you've known for 3 months, and she works in a bar. Let's see what the chance of you getting your back is. All right, Jim, you take it easy. Well, your background is heavy. Okay. I thought it was mine. No, but listen. Getting back to what I'm talking about. I see guys all the time online. They're writing things about. How they're not sure if it's worth trying to get their girl to come over. And she's his girlfriend. And I'm like, man, you got to think this out. You really need to think it out. If she's your girlfriend and you haven't known her all that long, forget about it. You're not going to get her in. If she doesn't have any money in the bank, she doesn't have a job that shows her putting money in the bank and actually saving money, there's not a chance in hell she's going to get it. Now, if you put up a bond for her, that's a different story. But if you're not putting up money for her, if you're some guy working, you're making, $500 a week, and you're getting by, and you got a little bit of money, and you're giving it to her, then when you try to show immigration and you try to be the person that's trying to sponsor her, they're going to go, I said, buddy, you don't have enough money. She's not coming over here. So that's what I'm talking. And maybe some people know this because they've tried it right away. I don't know. But I can tell you, and especially, for some reason, they ferret out the bar girls. They know what they're about. They know who they are. They know the stereotypical bar girl. They know how to figure it out. And they don't want these girls going over to America because some guy came over and he's known him for 6 months and he's madly in love. They don't want that. Why do they? Does Thailand want the girls in? Oh, wait a minute, I gotta remember something. Carnivore told me he puts the speed up at 1.5 to hear me talk faster, so maybe I need to talk more fast. But does Thailand want the American working girls to come on over here and live here? Are they bringing them over here in mass? No. Then why would you think that it would be okay to bring them over from Thailand? But they're uneducated. They have no education, or they have, maybe they have a high school education or something like that. But if they were educated, they would have a job where they're not working in a bar, more than likely. Because they don't need to do that job. But most of them, they have a high school education or lower. They finished 8th grade and that's all they did. So then why did you let those people come into the country when they have nothing to offer? But I understand they contact the lady's employer. Well, of course. If she doesn't have any legitimate employment, if she works at the G-Spot, they're going to call up and somebody, does this girl work? Yeah, she works here. That's not what they want. They want, can I speak to human resources, please? Yes. They get through to human resources. They say, is it true that this lady works here? Yes, she does. What is her salary? Gives her the salary. Okay. Then they look at her bank statement. Is she saving money? Is her money deposited every month? Does she have a reason to come back? And, because she's making 20,000 baht a month, it's not a good reason for her to come back to Thailand. Well, I make big money there. I'm making 20,000 a month. No, it's small money. So they're probably going to say, no, you cannot come over. And, I see these people all the time. They're like, I don't know why they didn't let my girl come over there. Because they want, the United States wants people. Listen, I know there are people coming over illegally and just crossing over and stuff like that. But Thais don't usually do that. But they're not going to fly over and just sneak in. That doesn't happen very often with Thais. So they're going to have to get in through legitimate means. And, if you're trying to get somebody over by legitimate means, first of all, they should be somewhat educated, and they should have a job. And it's not just a job. Oh, I've been putting money away for 2 months now. No, that's not going to cut it. Honey, baby, it's not going to cut it. You need to show a track record of at least a year. And that's why, I pretty much expected that my wife would get her visa very easily. Now she's been all around the world. She's traveled all over. So it's very easy for her. She shows the money in the bank. She shows, her bank statement. She shows the money going in every month. She shows she's been to, 10 different countries. She's been to Hong Kong, Singapore, Indonesia, Spain, Belgium. Oh, she go to Belgium, Spain, Ecuador, U.S., Netherlands, Portugal. I can't even remember. So because of that shows she's got a track record. She's been allowed into those places. So they view her as somebody, okay, she has a little bit of standing. Then they look at the bank statements. She has a job, and they say, okay, you're in. But these guys who, they come over here and they're here for 6 months and they go, yeah, I met my girl. I've got a girlfriend. They had the girlfriend for a month. And the girl's pushing them to go over to America. She doesn't know. My wife doesn't know a lot of things about America. She thinks she knows. She doesn't know. I'm like, listen, honey, you think you're going to get by here on $2,000 to $3,000 a month? No. You need like $8,000 to $10,000. It ain't like it used to be. Now, if you're living in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, that's a different story. But if you're living somewhere like a big city, you're going to need cash and plenty of it. So how are you going to do it? How are you going to get over there? Anyway, that's the basic gist. And to be employed, I always say this. You want a, oh wow. Midwest, I live on about $5,000 a month. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. And listen, I dated girls who were not educated and who didn't have jobs. I've dated them all. When I was a younger man, I had hair, I was more handsome, more fit, I've dated all kinds of girls. But I always remembered in my head that the girl needs to have an education. And the reason is because without it, her standing is quite low, especially in Thailand. Hang on a second. Oh, so looks like Carnival Chronicles is at the Grand Palace. Wonderful. Hello, hello, hello. The bottom line is this. When you meet a girl, if you want to have fun, I mean, like, you just want to get laid, then it doesn't matter how educated you are. It doesn't matter if, they've got it going on and they're putting money in them. It doesn't matter. That's why you have your fun with them and you leave. But if you're looking for something more, you want a relationship, then the first question you ask is, where do you work? What do you do for work? What's your job? I work massage. I don't want it. I don't care what she looks like. This is the thing. Separate their looks from your dick. And then maybe you'll be able to make a better decision. Just because she's a masseuse doesn't mean you can't have fun with her. But it can mean you don't want to further the relationship. Because think about something. Maybe you're some guy out there, you're 30 years old, and you meet a girl, she's 23, she's had one boyfriend in her life, but she's working at, some bar. You meet her, you fall in love, oh baby, oh I love you so much. I'm not saying that sometimes it can't work out, they can. But if you want to go by the odds, and they work out with people who know the ropes. People who don't know the ropes, generally, it ain't gonna work out. But if there's somebody who's uneducated, you need to think to yourself, where am I gonna go with this? Where is this gonna go? And okay, maybe you're uneducated, okay, fine. But let's say you have a high school diploma, you got a college degree, you're a moderately successful business person, and now you meet some girl and she's uneducated, she's a farm girl. I think the first question you ask is, what your job? Where you work? And you find out, are they financially stable? Because I can tell you, the embassy, if you're going to bring a girl over, they want to know that girl is financially stable, she's earning money. My mic is on. Good morning, Mr. Andy. Well, today I am on the iPad Mini 6, so maybe that's making a difference because the mic is quite loud, I don't know. See something. Oh, that's the wrong way. Okay. Hopefully you can still hear me, and I cleared it up by just lowering the sound. But I wanted to test this out, so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm streaming on the iPad Mini 6. That's the thing. I don't want to belabor this point, but I don't think you can really come up with something that's... And I'm not saying that if they are educated, they're not going to screw you over. The bottom line is you have to take the plunge somewhere. You have to trust in them somewhere to put the relationship correct. So... Yeah. So, you can pick your poison. You can figure out what is low risk, what is high risk. To me, high risk is somebody who they're running through guys, 3, 4, 5 guys, 2 guys, whatever it is, 20 guys a month, whatever it is. They're running through all these guys. To them, a guy, they're all the same. I've had girls say to me, oh yeah, you're the same everybody. I'm like, no, I ain't the same everybody. I'm not a little snowflake. I'm not one of these, But you're married. I mean, you don't even. I don't even want to go there. My wife wouldn't want me dating a Thai girl either. You know? And that's the thing. It's only happened to me once, to where somebody gave me a hard time for being married to somebody Thai. And it was a lady from the Virgin Islands. I was in the Olympics in the press department, and she went, "Oh, you're married to you're married to a Thai." Turns out her husband left her for a Thai hooker in Phuket, and I was like, I don't know what you're comparing my girl to her for. It ain't the same, honey. But she had a real hard on against Thais. And, okay, I understand. Fine. Maybe, that's what happens. But not my problem. This is the whole thing. Don't let it get to the point where it's a problem. Why would you do that? Why would you let it get to the point where it's going to be a problem? And then you go, okay, now I want to bring her over to America. Why would you do that? Just stupid. Really, it's just stupid. It's smart. And like I told Carnivore Chronicles, and I told a bunch of people a long time ago, aim higher. Listen, when I met my wife, I thought, she's got it going on. She's all right. I saw her a couple times. I was like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't see what her body looks like. I was like checking her out. When I got to know her and I got close to her, then I started to go, shit, man. She's got it going on. And some people might think that, she was out of my league, like I was hitting above my average. Now, we've been together 25 years. It's a bit different. But back then, I understand. But see, I never looked at it that way. I looked at it like, listen, you think about something. I'll always earn money. I may not earn fantastic money. I may not be making $100,000, $200,000 a year, although I have, but I mean, not regularly. But I'll always be able to manage. I'll always be able to take care of her. And I just think to myself, what's she got to be upset about? She has nothing to be upset about. You don't like my looks, you don't like my hair, you don't like my, my pecker, you don't like whatever it is. That's up to you. It's not me. I got nothing to do with it. If you don't like me, that's on you. Some people don't speak English very well. Anyway, all you can do is do the best you can, and then everything else is on them. If they're going to be a good woman, they're going to be a good woman. Now, there are good women that don't get over to America for whatever reason. Maybe it's financial. No, I didn't. We didn't. We had the wedding at the Angkor. Let's go, baby. Okay, 50 baht. I know, that's the thing. When she and I hooked up, I loved her with all my heart. I was like, man, I love this girl. And then I felt the same about her with me. Now we've been married 25 years, it's kind of like, we talk about all that romantic stuff and how we used to talk, and, we're like, okay, enough. Oh, man, I can't believe I did that, But, that's what it boils down to. Does she love you, or does she just thinking about the money? And and getting over to the United States. That's the other thing. If you just meet a girl here, let's say you're here, there's some countries that you can get them into fairly easily. So let's just say you got married for 3 months and now you want to take them back to Sweden. Well, that's what they want. Because you take them back to Sweden after a couple of months, they don't have that deep bond with you. I mean, you know, if you've been together for 5 years and then you get married, okay, that's different. I'm just saying, if you bring them over right away, they may just go, wow, look at what's going on here. This guy's driving a beat-up old Toyota. I could be going with a guy who's got a Ferrari. And that happens. You bring them over and they leave. So my suggestion is don't bring them over right away. Make sure your marriage is sound. Make sure that you both love each other. Make sure that you don't have major problems. And then go over there. Then if they let her in and you can get her in, then you know, okay, chances are we'll be all right. There's always a chance you won't be. Must be getting close to 10 o'clock. So, listen, my kids have never brought women in. Never. And we've learned about one girl for Nicholas, because he told us about it. And we were like, I'm sorry, I don't think it's right. Because, you know, they were both young. I'm just like, give it time. You need to give it time. And I think now he's smartened up. You know, just have your fun, do your thing, but don't get too deeply involved with it. Then when you get out of school, you find a job, you stash money. And I think Alex is doing it right. You start to stash money, you start to stack all that cash. Maybe you got $1 million stashed after a year or two. $500,000. Then you've got 100,000 sitting there in the bank that you know you can spend every once in a while. You take your girl out, you know, once in a while to a nice place. You spend a little money on her once in a while, and you know then if things work out, you got that money stashed. She doesn't even know about it unless you're a dummy and you tell her. And after you get married, okay, well, maybe you tell her, maybe you don't, but, you know, you should be in a position where financially you're strong. So, but if you're going to have a baby, I mean, when we had a baby, it was $50,000, $60,000. You're going to have a baby, you can afford it. And you have to think to yourself, what happens if something goes wrong with the birth? Is insurance going to cover it? Or am I going to have to pay for it? That's what I mean. I think there's so many people out there that, you know, and maybe because I'm a little older and I've gone through a lot of things, I know about some of these things. But I think there's a lot of younger guys out there. They don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. But they know, I'm living in Thailand. That's great. It's great you're living in Thailand. Well, let's say you marry the girl in a year, you get her pregnant. Now there's something wrong with the birth. You need to pay more money, and you go, God, that's gonna break me. And you go, now I got no money. I got no money stashed, and she's not working. Then what are you gonna do? Maybe something happens and you get your salary cut and you're like, oh wow, I'm not making as much as I used to. That happened to me. got my salary cut. I was making 50% of what I was making before. And I was like, well, it's still enough, but it wasn't really enough to where I had plenty of cash and I could just do whatever I wanted like I had before. Much different. You know, it's all about being smart. That's really what it is. It's all about being smart. It's all about trying to separate your emotions from what you actually do. I mean, I understand, you know, you see a beautiful girl and you go, oh my God, and maybe you want to bang her. But then, you know, you start talking to her and you're like, this chick's an idiot. She's not very smart. Well, then what do you want to be with her for? Okay, you tap that and you have your fun with her and that's all you do. But you have to separate that. And I can tell you that in the beginning, when I first started dating girls when I was young, when I was like 16, 20, 22, I never followed these rules. I couldn't even, you know, I couldn't control myself. It was like, whoa. What is this? I don't know what you're saying there, buddy. All I see is real talk. That's all I know about. I don't know all this lingo. I speak English. Anyway, listen, if you like this talk, if you like what I'm saying, if you like listening, smash the like button. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Do that for me. I've had 20 people, 25 people in here today. There's 15 people in here right now. I got 8 thumbs up. I don't think it really takes that much effort to hit the thumbs up though. And I think today or tomorrow, starts the 15% discount on all the merch I have. Just go to the link down below. It's in the description, or it's below the video window. You'll see, if you go to the page, it will have the discount up at the top. If there is no discount, then it starts tomorrow. I can't remember if it starts today or tomorrow. Sorry. But plenty of merch. There's also Super Chats. There's Patreon. There's CASHAPP. There's Buy Me a Coffee. Everything's down in the description. So, do me a favor and consider all of that. If people want me to keep streaming, well, you gotta talk, you gotta communicate with me, and every once in a while, donations are appreciated. But, you know, really, if I don't get people commenting, thank you, Andy, and Andy always comments. Yeah, it's right now, it is 93 degrees Fahrenheit. 94 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's about 103. Let's see here. 108. Oh my God, 108 degrees. So no, it's not that much cooler. Let me see something here. 108 Fahrenheit. 42.222 degrees Celsius is the feel like temperature, and 33.889 is the real temperature. Crazy. And, I can tell you that because of the heat, that's one of the reasons why I have not been out running around, walking places, showing all kinds of things. Well, that's because they've got the music up loud. I don't think that has anything to do with the iPad. I mean, it's loud for me. As soon as it's 10 o'clock, which is in about 2 minutes, they should shut it off. Crazy. Anyway. So, if there's any questions, send them to me after the stream or send them to me now. If nobody wants to comment, then we'll just end the stream right now and that'll be fine. And I know Andy doesn't need to bring a girl over to America. He's all set up. Now the music is turned down. Coming in at about, wait a minute, it'll be 10 o'clock, so what's today, Thursday? Oh, well, they'll open up at 10 o'clock. They'll open up in about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. See, they're not letting people in right now. See some. Wow, that's not good. Water in the lungs. I've had lung problems before, twice, where I had to have tubes put in my lungs. Like it was one lung, tubes in it twice. So hopefully she'll get better now. You take it easy, Andy. No, I didn't go back for my umbrella. I just thought that umbrella is starting to show its wear and tear. And I can get another one here for 150 to 300 baht. It's not that much. So I just figured I'll get another umbrella. And the reason it's all busted up is because my wife and kids always use my umbrella. They use my umbrella, and then they don't take good care of it. They don't take care of things like I do. I take care of my stuff. They like to, they like to beat my stuff up. See what's going on here. Here comes the music. There we go. I give you guys all a why. Good morning, everybody. But getting back to the subject here, I mean, I could come out with 25 things to guide your way into finding a good girl here in Thailand, and it would probably work. I mean, honestly. Like I said, the first thing you do is you go, "What's your job? What do you do?" "Oh, I massage everybody." "Oh no, I work in factory." Let's see. Looks like nobody else is coming in from the other side. Not many people today. Not as many people. It looks like the camera's a little blurry. All right. So, like I said, make sure that they have a job. Make sure they're educated. They can be in school or whatever, but if they just said, I don't go to school. No, I finished 3 years ago, and they're 19 years old. You might go, well, so you didn't finish like high school? No. Okay, well, that's a problem. It would be a problem back in the States. Now, if the girl was very successful, and you pulled up on her, and she's, got it going on, and she's a success, then you go, okay, I guess it didn't matter. But for most people that, drop out of high school and don't finish, it's a problem. And every time you look and you see these girls who, they're I don't want to say the cashiers in the grocery store, because the cashiers have to have some kind of an education. They're making halfway decent. But some of the girls, they just work in a place and they're just there because they need a body to fill the space. Whoever it is who hired them needs a body to fill the space. You got all these girls over at Swenson's. I would say 90% of them will not be at Swenson's after another 2-3 months. They will not be there. They will be gone because they either found another job, because they either quit, because they got fired. Usually they don't get fired from the Swenson's job. The only people that would stay there are the managers. Now, if a chick is managing a Swenson or McDonald's or Burger King or, whatever popcorn stand it is, and, you go, "Hey, what are you doing for work?" And she tells you that. You go in, you verify it. Hey, she's making a legitimate business. She's working a legitimate job. So then maybe you can take her seriously. She may not be making as much as you, or maybe she's making more than you. She might be a lawyer or a doctor or an accountant or an engineer. She's making more money than you are. That's what I mean about Amy Hunt. And then, when they want to go overseas, they may have been overseas already. They may have traveled the world. Maybe their family took them all over the place. That's why you see, I know quite a few girls who, I know one girl who, she lives in Australia. She lives and works in Australia. I know several that are overseas, and they're overseas because they're on an education visa, because they just wanted to go travel, whatever it may be. But they're able to do it. So if they're able to do it, they should be able to get a visa to the U.S. or wherever it is. depends on where you're trying to get into, but the U.S. is generally very difficult to get into for some Thai women. Alright, so I'm looking over here. We got a woman over here, she's like the assistant manager. She may stay with the company. But you got these girls, they're serving drinks. That's all they do is they serve drinks, or they serve they serve you your fried rice. Doubtful that those kind of girls are going to be able to go overseas unless they have some side hustle that's making them a lot of money where they can do it. And if they were, I know a girl, she used to go to Turkey. I don't know where she goes now. I don't think she goes nearly as many places. Turkey was pretty easy for Thais to get into. But if they can get into these kind of places, if they travel overseas, if they have a job, if they're fairly intelligent, if they're not working in a bar, if they're not working as a masseuse, then the chances of getting over to America are quite a bit better, especially if they put money into the bank, if their salary comes into their bank account every month, or twice a month, whatever it may be, it goes in there, and then the U.S. government can track them. Oh, they've had money coming in for 3.5 years. They've got a good job. They're making good money. They've got 700,000 baht sitting in the bank. Then it's kind of a no-brainer. That's, like I said, I was extremely surprised at how long it took my wife. Because I said, do you want me to go with you? They wouldn't let me in, but I said, do you want me to go with you? I'll go with you and, help you before you go in. Me being a little naive. And she said, no, it's okay. So she goes in, has her 10-minute interview, comes out, and they told her right then, they said, okay, we'll send you your passport, you'll have it within 2 days. She calls me up, okay, I'm done. I go, already? Yes, already. So what's the deal? My passport will be here, my visa will be here in 2 days. I'm like, wow, I couldn't believe it. So now, barring any major unforeseen circumstances, it should be fairly easy for her to get visas to just about anywhere, and also to renew her visa in the United States. And like when we went to Ecuador, she didn't need a visa. Thais didn't need a visa to get into Ecuador. I was like, Thais didn't need a visa to get into Portugal. Thais didn't need a visa to get into the Netherlands. They did need a visa to get into Ireland, and that was a bit of a pain in the neck, and it cost her about 4,000 baht. And as far as getting into America, piece of cake. There was no problem. And in fact, the very first time that she went to America, I had to fly separate from them because I was using my frequent flyer miles. And so they decided they were going to fly on one flight, I flew on a different flight. And I was waiting for them at the airport to get through customs. And I thought, oh man, I hope there's no problem. I hope there's no problem. And there was no problem. I'm standing there and I'm looking around. All of a sudden I see him. And, we all hug. Oh, yeah, you made it through. Yeah, no problem. Okay. Boom. So, for me, with her, it's not a problem. The only thing is, getting a green card, getting permanent residency, that takes time and it'll take some effort. But just to get a girl in there, if there's some chick who you met in a bar, forget it. Don't even think about it. Anyway. G'day, everybody. G'day. Anyway, you know what? There's nobody that's saying anything, so, what's the point? Nobody asked me any questions. Nobody really wants anybody to come over to America, I guess. So, marriage alone is not enough. No, it's not. Just being married to a girl doesn't mean that they can come into the country. It may mean that they can come into the country, but it may not. It really depends on the circumstance. She's got no money. She's not getting in. So, I guess we're done. I am Scott. I'm an American. I am in Bangkok. Can the husband sponsor the moneyless wife? Yes, that can be done. That is one way of doing it. And then if she runs off on the husband's bond is forfeited, and basically he loses his money. So if you have doubts about your relationship, it's probably not a bright idea. If you have absolutely no doubts, and she just doesnyou money, and you have the money, well then I guess it's okay. You could probably do it, get away, You could do it, it's fairly easy. But again, the ideal situation is that they can do it on their own. They don't need you. And something else, and I think this made it easier for us. We had like a perfect world. She had money in the bank. She had a job with money coming in every month, showing it was deposited every month. She's got 2 kids with me, and she's got me. Those criteria are met. Good morning, Mr. Dowlow. Those criteria are met, and because of all those things, she's not working as a masseuse. She's not giving Hummers to make a living. She's not doing any of those things. And so, you stack it all up, and it's like, all right, who's going to get into the country? Well, she did. And I know somebody that applied right after I did. And I told him, I said, I don't think you're going to be able to get your wife in, dude. He's like, well, how come you can get your wife in and I can't get my wife in? I said, because your wife was working as a whore. And she didn't get in. They don't want to hear that your wife, is a freelancer at Climax. And because of that, she's earning great money now. You know, I mean, think about how that sounds. Think about how the average person who doesn't know Thailand, who doesn't, you know, they don't ever engage with working girls or any of that kind of thing. Think about what they think. And that's really all you have to think about. And the average, you know, middle, what is it? Middle of the country person in the United States wouldn't think to themselves, oh, if I want a girl, I'll just go to Thailand and I'll meet myself a hooker at Nana Plaza. That's not what they're thinking. You know. And you know, this is the thing. This goes back to the guys who come here. They think they know everything. They've been here for a week or two. They know, oh, I know about Thailand. I got experience here. No, you don't. And, you know, then they're like, oh, well, I met my girl at the disco. Yeah, well, just because when you went with her, the money you gave to her was supposed to go to the taxi, that 2,000 or 3,000 baht, you were supposed to give her the taxi. She could have very well done that with many other people. So when they talk to her about it, they'll find that out. The U.S. government is not going to, like I said, they're just not going to let people in. They go, well, I don't know if this person's good for the country. Well, then they're not coming in. It's that simple. You know, if they come in and they're very polite, the Thais are very polite. They're like, cop, whatever it may be. And they sit there and they're, you know, like this, and they just answer the questions to the best of their abilities. And then they show all the documentation. The bank, the money, the job. Then generally there isn't a problem. But if, you know, she's out working on the farm and she doesn't make much money, you know, it ain't gonna work. Well, you know, some people have sick buffaloes, but, you know, I'm sorry, honey, I can't, you know, I'm very sorry, you're going to have to take care of that yourself. You know, really, that's how you handle it. You know, one of the biggest things that I think is a problem here for foreigners is their inability to say no. She's so cute, and her nipples stick out, they get my dick hard. Oh my God, she's so wonderful. She's really sexy. You don't know what she does in bed. Listen, I met a guy, I'm not going to name his name. He may know who he is by me saying this. I don't really care. He met a girl, and she was a bar girl, and she was a fairly well-known bar girl. She was fairly well-known because she had extremely good vaginal control. And for some reason, she wanted to break up with him. And he did not want that. And then, oh, he will do that. He will do that, but he's going to have to pay her. And she's, you know, and it was just, why are you with her? Because her, you know, her little snapper has got so much control. Yeah, and then, you know, okay, well, you did it once, you did it twice, you did it 50 times, whatever you did it. Be happy you had it. You've been there, you've done that. Go somewhere else. That's what you do. It's that simple. But you have to separate yourself. And that is what guys find difficult. You have to separate yourself from the why. You can't let the why have control over you. And any man, any guy with any balls, any guy who's an alpha, any guy who is a magnet for women, he's going to be able to turn them down. Because you have to. You know, I don't even know all the YouTubers out there that have to do with Thailand. I have no idea now. I can't keep up with them. And I don't really care. Because I don't need to learn anything. I mean, once in a while I can go, oh, what about this place? What about that? Okay, I can learn. But what I'm saying is I don't need to learn the basics here. I don't need it. I get along fine. I have no problems here. Now, I have to say that when I went to get my drone fixed, I had not been in a situation where I was talking about drones and flying and where do you land and, what's the best way to go about doing things. And so there were some things that I was not sure how to say. And I'm still trying to learn them because when I go back or when I talk to other people, I need to learn these kind of things. That's just for me. If I really want it, I don't have to. I can be a dick and just go, it doesn't matter. I got everything fixed. But I don't want to do that. So, bottom line is, find an educated girl, a good girl, put the time in with her so that you get to know her and that she might not be pulling the wool over your eyes. And then you can start thinking about a future. Until then, just don't do it. Your future is, you're my girlfriend, I'm your man, okay, that's all. Not, okay, I'm going to bring you back to America and you can meet my mother and my father and we'll make sure everything's taken care of. And it's just stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Oh, God. I don't know what it is. Didn't sleep well last night. Anyway. Power of the patch. So that it doesn't rot in a bank book. Well, they need to see money going in and out of the bank. You know, if she's got $200,000 in the bank, and then 1 month she pulls out $50,000, and then the next month she gets paid, and she gets paid, say, $60,000, and she takes out $30,000, and then the next month she gets paid another $60,000. That's what you want. Yeah, I don't usually wear this shirt much anymore. I feel like stretching, you know, I have a yoga class in a half an hour that I can go to. Stretch out a bit. But you know, the thing is, really, I mean, I'm no, you know, I don't want to say I'm an expert. Well, you need to think about a lot of things with age differences. And I would say 14, 15 years is about the max. 15 years is about the max. After that, you got to think about it. If you're 65 years old and she's 30, well then when you're 85 years old, she's going to be 50. and you're 85 and she's 50, does she have a life? Her life may be taking care of you. She may not want to do that. Listen, I don't want my wife to have to change my diapers. That's the last thing I want. So, you have to think about these things. You have to think about that when she's 20, it's going to be different when she's 50. And you're going to be different when you move up 30 years. I'm very different than I was when I met my wife. And she's different too. I mean, everybody changes physically, and you change a little emotionally or whatever, but, I mean, I don't know how to say this, but any other way, but when I met her, it was kind of like I was out of control. And she just was stable the whole way. And eventually that kind of won me over, where I was just like, okay, I need to be a little more stable. And then, she was a bit, when she was younger, her temper was a bit much. She would get ticked off about things, and she could hang up the phone, she could do all kinds of things. I got sick of it, and I said to her, you got to stop this stuff. It's not working. It doesn't work for me. You hang up the phone on me. To me, that's immature. Finish the conversation. Let's work it out. And then we don't have anything else to work out. We're worked out. We've got it taken care of. Let's move on. Not let me hang up on you, then you call back, oh, I'm sorry. No, yeah, but you haven't fixed anything. So that used to irritate me, but that was when she was about 22, 23. And after a couple of years, once she had both boys, things changed. It used to be like, she's all for me. Then it was, oh, I got to think about the kids. Now it's, I got a career. She still thinks about me. She still thinks about the kids, but she also thinks about a career. And you know what? I don't mind. Sometimes it irritates me, but most of the time, I don't really mind. Well, yeah, they happen. I don't know how to, I don't know how to say it, because, I live with her. That's all I can say. I live with her. It's not the same as when people on the outside. It's like being with a woman. You're with a woman and she looks so beautiful, so perfect, everything is great. And then you say to the guy that she's living with or she's married to, yeah, she's so wonderful. And he's like, she's so wonderful. She can be that way. But you see her, it's just like having kids with you all the time. You see her all the time, so you see good and bad. That's the whole thing. No, you can't. You cannot take the bar out of the girl. Take the girl out of the bar, and almost never. There are guys who have a lot of experience. You have a lot of experience, and they're able to. What is this? Well, I don't think, honestly, I don't really have that problem where it's like, oh my God, we're around all the time. We've had a good separation. And that's another thing. If you're going to make it like bringing the girl back home. She can't be with you every minute of the day. She cannot, be by your side when, you may be going to a function and it's only for the people at your job. And she's like, I want to go, I want to go. And you're like, no, you can't go. She cannot be clingy. There's just no way. And I don't do well with clingy anyway. I don't mean clingy like she comes over once in a while and puts her arms around you and gives you a kiss. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one who comes over to you, sits in your lap, and she just sits there and she just wants to stay there for a while. And you're like, I got work to do, I gotta go. No, honey, no, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. And you're like, I have to. I used to go on trips all the time. I used to go to Burma, I used to go to Malaysia, Indonesia, Cambodia. I used to go all the time by myself. She'd never mind it. She would mind after about a week or two. Then she would be like, when are you coming back? And now, sometimes she has to go, and I don't go with her. Sometimes she has to go, and I go with her. That's fine. However, we want to work. So, that's another thing, is that them being around all the time, I don't know about you, but if I'm around somebody all the time, like 24/7, every day, 7 days a week, you get on my nerves. Well, I think you do a lot of things with your wife, Gallo. I don't think that's a bad thing as long as you get your own time. Oh man, my neck is just... there will be a time when she will retire. And she's going to be going, what should I do? And she's already said to me, maybe we should do YouTube videos. Like, I already done them, I do them. Yeah, okay, maybe. Just, generally I put her on, people like her more than they like me. I don't know why. I'm such a sweet guy to people. I don't know why they don't like me, but okay. Anyway. I need to go. I want to go. I need to go. I do need to go. To South Africa. To the Sharks. Masai Mara, which I think is Kenya or Tanzania. And then Europe. And then, of course, back home. It's something else. You always got to think about that. And that's the thing. I have my life, she has her life, and we have our life together. She told me, she tells me today she's going to work, and she goes, I got to go to a meeting tonight with the hotel. We've got to have a meeting, and, I'm like, okay, see you later. I always know that, sometimes that happens, and that's the way it goes. What am I going to do? Oh, you can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that. I don't want to be that guy. I never want to be that guy. I never want to be the guy who tells somebody, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. I won't stand for it if you do this. I don't want to be that guy. If they're going to cheat on you, if they're going to run around, if they're going to do whether they're going to go out and get drunk all the time, they're going to do it whether you're pushing them or you're not pushing them. So I'd rather just sit back and relax and, let them do their thing. That's the whole thing. Let the people do their thing. That's really all there is to it. You let people do what they want to do. You don't have control over them. And if they like you, love you, want to be with you, then they will. The only thing is, if you pick the wrong girl, you may not get her back to where you're going. You may be stuck here. You know. Anyway. I'm gonna go to sleep. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. It's good for couples to have their own space. And, well, it may not mean that they are a bar girl, but I can tell you that in a lot of bars, a high percentage of the women have tattoos. Just because they have tattoos doesn't mean they're a bar girl. However, it may mean that they're living outside of the norms, so to speak. I mean, I've seen some girls. There are girls in my yoga class. They got tattoos all over. There's one girl in particular. She used to come to Starbucks all the time. I used to see her all the time. And very nice chick. But she's got tattoos all over. Then it's like one of the yoga instructors has tattoos all over. And then there's other people that come into the class, and this is the one. Oh, I mean, like, she's not here right now. There's a girl that works here, and I thought, oh, she's, average looking, but, nice looking girl. Nice girl. And I remember one day she turned around, and I could see through her shirt, the back of her shirt. And she had a big, gnarly ass, like Cambodian tattoo on her back. And I was like, what are you gonna do? I'm married, man. My wife has no tattoos. And I'm glad. She talked about it, I talked about it, I'm glad we didn't know. So, Oh, man. I need some extra sleep. I wish I could go to sleep and, wake up in the morning and just fall right back asleep. Wake up at like 11 in the morning. Oh, I'm so refreshed, but that never happens. I always wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 4:30 today. All right, so thank you everybody for joining me. I appreciate it. Even though there weren't many of you, I do appreciate it. I'm Scott. I am an American in Bangkok. I'm in Bangkok right now. And until next time, I guess, choke me, lil jerk and mine. That's good luck and see you later. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's it. That's all I got. Enough said. I'll be there on July the 12th. Oh, I'll be waiting with bells on. God. I'll be waiting with bells on. Yes, I will. Although I don't think your wife's gonna let you go out. Anyway, you need a nap. And I don't want to go to yoga. You gotta do what you gotta do. I gotta keep my girlish figure. Anyway, so I appreciate everybody. Like I said, thank you very much. Thank you for the donations, even though I didn't get any today. Thank you on a regular basis for those people who contribute. I appreciate it. And I don't know when I'll get back to you guys, when I'll see you guys. I have no idea. Because I want to do something kind of cool, and I don't want to just sit here and talk about some subject. Especially if nobody wants to ask questions about it. They don't want to know things about it. It doesn't make sense. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you, and I will talk to you later. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Alrighty, I'll talk to you guys later.